At the end of last week's episode, you guys told me to bring you something back, so
thank you.
Here's a little seashell,
wow.
a little gift for you.
Oh, wow, he did watch.
I did watch.
He did.
I wasn't part of it, but I did watch. So
he was commenting.
He did.
Yeah, I did comment a couple times. I was trying to hang in there with you guys.
Well, thank you.
Anywho, let's get going on the NFL Week 11 recap. The teams that were on the bye were the Bears, 49ers, Bills, and Giants. And then we'll go into the Thursday night game, which was the Cardinals at Seahawks. The Seahawks won 28-21.
Seahawks finally showed that their defense is starting to click a little.
Yep, and Wilson's doing what Wilson does.
Yeah.
But like you said, with the defense clicking, that team's very scary.
Yeah.
Now, do you think some of that had to play with Murray being kind of hurt?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit. But it was a good game. I think both teams they're gonna be in the playoffs probably. So
Yeah.
see what happens.
Wasn't too bad.
So, all right, let's move on to the Sunday earlies.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah. The very first game up is the 6-3 Titans at the 6-3 Ravens.
It's happening here, man.
Titans won 30-24. They got outplayed.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest takeaway...
it went to overtime, though, so was it really outplayed? It was pretty even.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The Ravens were up going into halftime. The defense kind of fell apart towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, A.J. Brown carried him, two guys 10 yards in for a touchdown, and then the last play with Henry.
Henry just broke loose and
I think
touchdown to
it
end
would have
it.
been a different game if Williams and Calais Campbell played, but it is what it is. Highlight, Dobbins looked real good.
So that doesn't matter now.
No. We'll talk about that for the next week's game, but Lamar looked better passing. Biggest problem is Marquise Brown's kind of falling apart after his comments. I think he's only had 4 catches for 30-some yards for the past 4 weeks, so...
He's starting to sound more and more like Antonio Brown every day. must run in the family.
Yeah, that's about it. Wasn't pretty.
No. It is what it
At least
is.
you got beat by another good team, though.
Right.
I think I actually saw something. I don't have it on me, but the Ravens have lost by no more than 6 points in the last 4 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 4 games.
Sounds about like the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Chargers have had a real tight scoring window in the last few losses. But all right, I guess we'll move on. We'll keep it going. The 4-5 Lions at the 3-7 Panthers. The Panthers won this game 20-0. It's very hard to get a goose egg on anyone, really.
Unless you're the Jets.
Unless you're the Jets, but that's it's wild that the Lions didn't score a single point.
I'm kind of shocked because they haven't been
horrible.
Awful.
Right.
Yeah.
They've put points up.
Right.
I know.
That's what I'm getting.
I know Swift was out. And Johnson was out too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Galladay
didn't he get hurt?
He might have.
Maybe it's Marvin. One of them.
So Peterson was carrying the load. And,
You need to call Calvin Johnson back.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him later.
But, the Panthers, it was the first start for P.J. Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was the XFL quarterback.
So he's undefeated.
He's undefeated as a starter in the XFL and in the NFL so far.
I know. I said this offseason. I figured he'd be the quarterback sometime.
Yeah,
this season.
you did say that. I remember that.
Do you guys think that he might end up somewhere else if he keeps playing well?
I could see it. There's some teams that need a quarterback, but the only problem is you're looking at these quarterback-needy teams. They're also bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
So you would go somewhere else, but you're being placed in a bad situation where you're not going to really succeed like you would with a better roster around you.
Well, the thing is, I think Bridgewater might be back this week. So
yeah, it's Bridgewater's job for sure.
Plus, Bridgewater, they play the Vikings this week, so
I'm sure he'll be playing.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, he'll want to play. So,
all right, on to the next one: the 3-5-1 Eagles at the 6-3 Browns. The Browns won 22-17. It actually wasn't as close as the score indicated because it was 22-10, and then the Eagles scored with like a minute and a half, something. It was under the 2-minute warning. So, I mean, then you got to get the onside kick and everything like that. So,
Are you looking for that?
Yeah. Carson Wentz
yeah.
has not played well.
No, he is not. I am so glad, though, that the Browns won this game. I did take the Browns to win, but I'm glad they won because that means Dallas is still in the running for the division. You're looking at that statistic.
Yeah, I can't find it now.
It's in there somewhere.
There you go.
The statistic was...
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
The most turnovers in the NFL this season. The Broncos lead with 23. Cowboys lead or in second with 21.
That sucks.
Carson Wentz by himself has 18 in third place.
The Eagles have 20 overall, so that means only two other turnovers were not his fault.
That is not good.
Yeah, that is not good.
I mean, what's happening to him?
I don't
A couple
know.
years ago, people were talking him up.
MVP,
Yeah.
and, right? I don't know.
I mean,
Really, the way it's a hard one because they're still contending for the East.
Right.
But
And that's why I'm glad they lost this game because...
I'd say though, if it gets to the point where if you lose another one, I just put Hurst in. Really, what do you have to lose?
Right.
But
Go with the young hand, see what you have.
it's not looking good for him.
No, it's not.
I mean, really, well, I guess receiving core's kind of dwindled. Jeffrey hasn't played, and
Yeah.
Some of those throws though he makes are
Boneheaded.
they're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching some of that game and it's like, who the hell are you throwing to?
seeing ghosts.
On the Brown side of things, Baker Mayfield has the Browns at 7-3. It's kind of a silent 7-3.
The run
They're-
game's really helping
right,
him
they-
though with Chubb and Hunt. I mean,
They're a good team. I just don't see them beating the elites, the Chiefs. I would say the Ravens, but they haven't been. But you know, the Chiefs, the Steelers.
I'd even say the
I don't-
Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders are playing well,
I keep
but
saying
they're 7-3, so
I keep
they're doing something right.
I keep saying though, I think they play better without OBJ, man.
It's
I
weird.
really do.
Because Baker doesn't have to
He's not
force
forcing
it to OBJ. He's just reading the
Yeah.
coverage and making the throw.
And as long as that run game's going, I mean, he can make the throws.
Right.
As long as, with that play action. But
I think
But-
one other takeaway, Garrett tested positive for COVID being around somebody he just
Right.
got put on the list.
Quarantine while your results come back. But I guess we'll move on unless there's anything else about these two teams.
The Eagles.
There-
or
what,
the
was,
Eagles.
what was the
Yeah.
Browns thing I sent you? This is the best record they've had since
99? was
since
it?
94.
Yeah,
94.
94.
That's insane.
7-3 for the first time since '94. So
That's nuts.
on to the next one: the 4-5 Patriots at the 2-7 Texans. I took the Patriots to win this.
Most people did, I think.
I think a lot of people were thinking the Patriots would get this one because it was against the 2-7 Texans, but they came up and surprised us. The Texans won it 27-20. The Pats had a chance to tie it late, and then they didn't get it done. But I'm kind of shocked about the Patriots. I know that they're going a little downhill and they don't have a lot of pieces.
They're starting to get
But-
to that point where you're going to have to rebuild.
Right.
I mean, because it's just, you're more than a quarterback away now, I
Right.
think.
I was
So-
thinking that Cam Newton's going to come in there and that's going to give Belichick and I can't remember the coordinator's name, but he's
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniel. That would give Belichick and McDaniel
No.
a versatile option that they never had with Brady. But it just looks like it's not there for him this
No.
year. They're 4-6. The Texans are now 3-7 after the win.
Like we talked about before, it wouldn't shock me if Belichick goes somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he just straight up retires. But
Right.
He is old. He's getting old.
Unless he would take maybe like a advisor role.
Right. Just to stay around the football.
It's possible. But I don't think they're going anywhere this year. It's going to be weird to see the Patriots not in the playoffs.
I know, man. It's going to be nice. Finally. On the Texan side of things, they're now 3-7.
Watson's still running for his life.
Yeah, Watson's still running for his life. They are what they are. They're 3-7. Watt wants out.
Well, and
So
getting rid of him is going to help them because they don't have first round pick, they don't have a second
Right.
round pick.
But I mean, really,
but that's going to be not until the offseason
Yeah.
because the trade deadline's already passed.
Yeah.
So.
really, if you think about it, is Watt really going to gather you? I don't think he'll get you a day one pick. I think you know,
He-
maybe a second
third.
round
I
or
would say a
third.
third.
Maybe a
Yeah.
second at best. But you're probably looking more 3. But they could
Right.
package something together. Maybe.
Oh yeah, they'll be able to do something with him.
So I think
But
his prime destination is to play with his brothers in Pittsburgh.
I think he said that he said that he wouldn't mind going to Pittsburgh just because T.J. Watt would
That-
be on the literal other side of the line
That'd probably be the first time,
in history.
brothers have all played on the same team
That'd
together.
be pretty neat. I guess we'll move on to the another one that you don't want to talk
Speaking
about.
of the Steelers,
The 9-0 Steelers played the 1-8 Jaguars. We all took the Steelers on this one. It wasn't even a game. 27-3. The Steelers just had a good old time.
Jaguars managed to kick a field goal. That was good.
Yep. At least it wasn't a goose egg. On the Steelers side of things, they're now 10-0. They have a chance to bury the Ravens, but we'll talk about that during the actual
That's if the game
matchup.
gets played.
If it
Right,
gets-
if the game gets played, but they're now 10-0. They're sitting very good
I'd say
in
they're
the
going to make the
division.
playoffs.
Yeah, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. The Jaguars side of things, they're 1-9 now. Minshew Mania's dried up. It's gone. They had a whole different quarterback starting.
They're fighting with the Jets for that number 1 pick.
Yeah, and
We're
it's
the
just bad. I hate to see it. What?
Well, that's what happens when you trade everybody away.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it is true. Maybe they can rebuild and be like the Raiders, because the Raiders did
Yeah.
that. Everyone thought they were crazy,
Well, they signed
and now it's starting to click a little bit.
they signed Gruden to that 10-year deal, and everybody's like, what in the?
Everyone thought they were crazy. Then he got rid of Mac. He was just
Yeah.
offloading the team, getting picks. He wanted to build the team how he wanted to build it, and that takes a couple years. You're not just good right away.
Well,
generally,
it's the same thing. We've talked about it before, but you can't have one guy that can't make a defense,
No,
right.
especially paying him, king's ransom.
no.
So, I mean, there's nothing else to really say about this game. Steelers 10-0, Jags 1-9. I mean, it is what it is there.
No.
So we'll move on to the next one. The 3-6 Falcons at the 7-2 Saints.
Man,
Not a big shocker. The Saints won 24-9. I guess it is a shocker because Taysom Hill was starting.
yeah, I picked the upset, man. I
Yeah,
thought
you
the
picked the
Falcons might do
upset.
it, but Taysom Hill played pretty good.
Yeah, well, supposedly there's a lot of rumors going around. They think Winston should be the one starting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they thought that after he won.
Taysom played pretty well though. He made some good runs.
Well, I think
made some good
I think
throws.
the thing because pretty much they lose all their versatility if he's not playing receiver, tight end, or whatever.
Right, and I agree with that.
Do you think
To a
Breeze
point.
is going to be out for a little while? Or
Yeah, something happened to his rib.
11
broken
broken ribs.
11 broken ribs.
Somebody
Yeah, not
Sage
good.
Rosenfeld
Yeah.
posted. He said he broke what was it? One.
and he played the rest of the game, took a shot, or
Yeah, and he got some shot or whatever. And he said it to this day when he gets up or whatever. He said he still feels it. And he's like, I can't imagine 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
That's
This
crazy.
could be the end of Breeze because
Right.
he kind of
all it takes is one wrong needle, and you lose
Well,
your
and he-
starting job. There,
well, and he kind of thought about retiring this offseason too. So
And
I
now
would
with
think
this-
this might push him over.
Like
And,
this injury might be just the thing.
It's probably the Saints' way of seeing what they got in Hill.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Saints rise to 8-2, and on the Falcons side, losing, they dropped to 3-7. But what do you guys have to say about the Falcons? I mean, we thought they started to look a little better.
Young Hung Koo or whatever is the highlight of that team.
I mean, we thought they started to look a little better after the interim coach came in, but then this game kind of just proved that they're still the same old Falcons.
They've got pieces. They're just I
Now,
guess somebody has to figure out how to use them.
they're 3-7, but I believe that there was 3 games that they lost this year early on that was a really high probability for them to win.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact. One of them was Dallas. Dallas had to get the onside kick.
Yeah.
They got it,
As they
and
watched
we
it
went
go
down
on.
and scored and beat them.
Yeah.
That's one of them. But just think, that's 3 games that they could have turned. They could be sitting at 6-4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can say that about a few teams.
right.
I mean,
So what's wrong with them? Well, I mean, kind of like the Chargers have lost by some
Yeah.
tight margins as well.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just not able to finish games.
No.
I think it's a lot of problems. Well, these teams, the defenses aren't able to hold their own.
Right.
Sometimes you don't know what the deal is. I mean, is it play calling? Is it players giving up, running out of gas? I
Right.
don't know.
I guess on to the next one. This finishes the Sunday earlies. The 2-6-1 Bengals at the 2-7 football team. The football team ended up winning 20-9, but that's not even the biggest story.
Yep.
I'll let one of you guys.
Joe
talk about it.
Burrow
Uh-oh.
tore his ACL, his MCL, and wasn't there something else?
Meniscus.
Meniscus,
yeah.
and he has
Structural.
issues with the knee.
It looked
as
pretty.
well.
It looked bad. Now I have seen some people say there's players that have come back from this, but they said he won't be ready by week 1.
Well,
I don't know if he'll be ready. I mean,
here's the big question. If you're the Bengals and you're up there, do you take another quarterback, knowing that he could possibly not?
I don't think so. I think you have to give him a fair shake at the job.
I would
But-
get a veteran.
That's what I'd do.
Right. Get a 1-year veteran,
Get maybe like
Somebody
a
that's decent,
gap
yeah.
player.
Fitzpatrick.
I could see something like
Jameis
that, and
Winston.
let him rehab fully while you plug the veteran in
because
there.
he did look special. I mean, he's going to be good.
Right.
It's just,
And that's why I say
No.
I don't think you throw him away yet.
This is kind of the whole thing where I've seen a lot of comments from Bengals fans saying this is RG3 all over again. He shouldn't have been out there. They should have kept Dalton and had Dalton play this year. And
But what else are you supposed to do, though? I mean, he's your quarterback. You want him to learn.
yeah.
coming from,
It's kind of like an on-the-job learning. Even though you're losing games,
well, I think what happened.
he's learning the pace of the NFL.
Seeing what just happened, it would not surprise me if you start seeing the Chargers make offensive line moves for Herbert.
Right.
No.
Because you got to protect your quarterback. It's very, very important.
No.
But on the football team side of things, they're now 3-7.
Chase Young's looking good. Scary Terry's tearing it up.
They're in the thick of the NFC East, same as Dallas, Giants, and Eagles. So I mean, the NFC East is kind of odd, but we'll get to that.
There's some stat about that.
Pick'ems.
Terry from Washington. He's got more yards receiving than Jerry does through. I think it's first. I don't know how many games it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's about
But
it.
yeah, that's about it. I mean, both those teams were kind of bottom barrel teams, anyways. But the Burrow was the big news.
I
of that.
mean, kind of last take for the football team. Chase Young's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Everybody kind of thought he was going to.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
as advertised.
Right, exactly, as advertised. All right, we'll go into the Sunday late games, the 4 p.m.ers. The 6-3 Dolphins at the 3-6 Broncos. Now, what happened here? The Broncos won 20-13.
They
And-
benched Tua.
Tua got sacked 6 times, had a slight injury on the 6th sack, and then, like you said, that
They sat him
inadvertently, yeah, they sat him out, benched him, whatever
Well,
however you
after
want to
what
word
Tua
it.
said, I thought the NFL would be a lot harder to
Yeah.
adjust.
I still feel that it's Tua's job,
Yeah.
or that
Oh, it is,
Tua's
yeah.
position. I
Florida
felt that they
said.
benched him just because he got that last
Yeah.
sack, and they just didn't want to put him like in a Burrow situation
Yeah,
where you're
well-
going to get actually busted up
Well,
for
I
the
think-
rest of the year.
What it was is Tua did some kind of conference after and said Flores just wanted to put Fitzpatrick to see if they can get a spark and win the game.
Right.
Which
I was shocked the Broncos beat him. I mean,
I was too. It was
Broncos
20-13.
haven't played very well this year, so I was.
But they have flashes like this.
No.
They have a few games where Drew Lock he'll
he
just
got hurt again, didn't he?
he'll just show flashes.
Didn't Locke get hurt again?
Probably.
But anyways, that puts the Dolphins down to 6-4. The Broncos to 4-6. Dolphins are in the thick of the AFC East.
Yeah.
I believe it's the AFC
Yeah.
East, right? They're in the thick of it right there with the Bills. I mean, the Bills have a good lead on the division, but the Dolphins are right there.
Yeah.
Bills lose a couple, Dolphins continue to win. They could take that division.
They could. I still think it's the Bills division, though. But
Yep, I do too. The next one was the 0-9 Jets at the 2-7 Chargers. Now the Chargers won 34-28.
God, the Jets put up a fight.
But yeah, the Jets didn't look bad. This is like really one of the first
This might be
games.
the highest points I think they scored.
I
Yeah.
think it might be. Is this because of Flacco, you think? Or
I'm
what's
telling
going
you.
on?
Yeah, Flacco came in and gave him a spark, man.
But here-
Scored 28
now,
points.
This is kind of the.
Is Darnold the problem?
It might be. Now, Gase is a problem, but.
They still lost,
No,
but the Chargers were kind of mentioning them throughout a couple of the other teams as well. The Chargers are now 3-7.
They barely won
But-
this game.
They barely won
6
this
points.
game
Mhm.
against the worst team in the league, but I think they've lost all of their games combined. I believe it's all the other games combined that they've lost, the 7 losses, by only like 24 points.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it, or 27 or something? It was something. It was in the 20s.
I don't know what.
All combined.
I don't know what
It's a
they're,
bunch of tight losses.
they're missing something. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's.
Derwin James.
Yeah.
Bosa. I don't think he's really been healthy the whole year.
No, but Herbert's been tearing it up though. I
Right.
mean, Herbert looks really good.
Herbert-
Herbert looks. I
Exceptionally
would say he looks
good.
better than Burrow.
Right.
I mean, before Burrow got hurt.
I
but-
think Jordan sent a little message that said that he's on pace to break 3 rookie records. The touchdown record, which is 27.
Yards.
It's set 27 by Baker Mayfield. The yardage,
And the
Which is-
completions, isn't it?
yardage
Completion
is
percent.
who was yardage? Yardage was Andrew Luck in
Mhm.
2012, and then the completions was set by Carson Wentz in 2016.
Isn't
and
that
then he-
weird for a guy to break all these records and your team's?
Right,
3-7.
3-7, and then as another side note, he's neck and neck with Dak Prescott's rookie passer rating. Dak Prescott has the best rookie passer rating at 104.9. He's at 104.7. So you're talking decimal points to take over the court. So he could have 4 of the rookie records by the time this is done,
Now,
if he doesn't throw too many picks and if this continues.
now, on the flip side, I know we saw this.
Yeah, kind of skip over the Jets, but
Well, with the Jets,
have to talk about them a little.
Who do you think's gonna? Do you think the Steelers are gonna keep winning, or you think who will
Oh,
win versus loss? Who you think the Jets will
the
win?
10 will the
or
10-0
lose?
Steelers lose one, or will the
Yep.
0-10 Jets win one? I'm gonna say the Steelers are gonna lose. Can the Steelers really go 16-0? I could
I
see,
don't
I
think
could
so.
see the Jets going 0-16, but I don't think the Steelers will go. I don't think the Steelers will go 16-0.
You know what?
I don't think they will. I
if-
think it's 15-1, 14.
I think if the Jets keep having Flacco in his quarterback, I think they'll win a game.
Okay, but will it happen before the Steelers lose?
I
Steelers
think-
play the Ravens,
No,
but we'll talk
not
about
this
that.
week.
I think the Steelers will lose.
I think so too. I'm taking Steelers
Even-
lose.
It's hard to go undefeated. I mean,
It's too hard.
it's hard to go 0-16.
I'd say the way I'd see it, a dark horse that I could see beating Pittsburgh would probably be the Browns.
Yeah. Divisional
that.
matchup. They know each other pretty well. I guess that's it for that game, though. We'll move on to the next one, which was actually a really good game. The 7-2 Packers at the 6-3 Colts. I took the Colts to win this one, kind of against
So
the
did I.
popular pick. Yeah, I
I
guess
did
you
as
took
well.
them too.
So this game, pretty much to recap, was the Packers versus the Colts kicker. How many field goals did he hit? 5?
Yeah.
I think so. He's pretty good.
He tore it up. The Packers forced it into overtime, and then the Colts ended up winning it in overtime, 34-31.
No,
But it was a real good game.
the Packers receivers keep fumbling the ball.
They've only got to.
Yeah, the Colts created a fumble in overtime that gave them the ball inside the 30.
It was
So it
funny
was like,
watching Rodgers' facial reaction because he already did the games.
They said
Right.
they said that what's the Scantling?
Yeah, Valdez, Scantling.
He's been getting death threats.
what?
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Oh, geez.
He's one of those downhill. Because really, that's number 2, I'd say, behind Adams. He gets these straightaways, but he's fumbled a couple for the past couple weeks.
So that was a good game. It's
Maybe they should have
good.
drafted some wide receivers.
It's good
Jordan
that the
Love.
Packers lost for you guys, but I mean, just for you, I guess. But
It's not really helping.
But
me.
it's not helping. It's not helping the actual Vikings. But it's good to see them lose.
This next game.
Yeah, let's talk about this next one.
The 2-7 Cowboys versus the 4-5 Vikings.
Did not see this coming.
I didn't see this coming either. There were some really exceptional highlights in this game. CeeDee Lamb,
And
a twisting, turning body, grabbing the touchdown up and over his head, and then Thielen with the Cowboy player had one arm locked, and he goes up and one-hands it and brings it in and successfully.
It was a back and forth game. Back and forth.
Back and forth game. The Cowboys ultimately got the win, 31-28. So the Cowboys are now 3-7, along with the football team, the Giants, and then the Eagles are 3-6-1. The Vikings are now 4-6, and they're doing exactly what you said they would.
Yeah.
You'll start winning a couple to get you out of the top 5.
They're good. They're playing good enough some weeks to win, and then playing bad enough other weeks to lose, and they're not going to be in the top 10 in the draft.
My problem with
Terrible.
them. Well, first off, they've got like the worst. I think one of the worst like 2-minute offenses at the end of the game out of anybody. They never can get down the field for some weird reason. Now they had an open Justin Jefferson. It was 3rd and 6. He dropped the ball, which is not common. I mean, he was wide open.
Right.
Boom, drops it. You know what happens.
What was that?
Right.
What was that stat we were talking about earlier with Cousins?
You have to look at it.
Let's see if I can pull it up. So Cousins has thrown what was this? Lead taking fourth quarter touchdowns in 3 games this season.
Yep.
And the Vikings have lost all 3 of those games.
Yep. That was the
He's just not a clutch guy. I mean, he's played well when Cook's running the ball.
I think is what Jordan getting at is that's on the defense, not
Yeah.
Cousins.
Yeah.
He's saying
Well,
Cousins
sure.
created a lead change in the fourth quarter.
But what I'm saying is at the end of these games, though, a lot of times they're going down the field, they can't go anywhere. Because all they're doing is throwing the ball. And everybody knows they're going to throw the ball.
So they're playing
Yeah,
3-4 man deep.
My problem with Cousins, and yeah, he's played pretty good. As like I said, as long as Cook's running the ball well, he can make those play action throws. But
Right.
my problem is you're spending all this money on a quarterback when Zimmer wants to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're a run first team now.
Well, kind of like that.
Why are we paying all that money?
Kind of like
I
that
don't know.
stat says, though. Maybe Cousins gets a lot more hate than he should because with those 3 games,
He
if you pull that
created
out,
right. He created the lead
You guys
change.
would be what?
No, he's played
8-2.
No, I'm not. I mean,
Imagine that.
He's put up some numbers. He's played well. The defense has been pretty bad, but
Right.
he also fumbled the ball in that game. He's also thrown, what is it, 14 interceptions or something. I mean, he's got some flaws.
Right. No, I can agree with that.
It's just I don't know. This is what I said. They're going to pick 13, 14, 15th in the draft.
You're going to get a
And this
great
is-
defender.
You're going
this
to get
is
a good
coming-
player, but not an exceptional player.
The Vikings fans are all, tank for Trevor. Then all of a sudden you start winning some games and you're like, well, I guess they're playing good. And then all of a sudden the team you think you should beat.
Right. This one,
You get-
I think we all took the Vikings. Oh,
Yeah.
man, Vikings are playing better than the Cowboys.
Everybody did. I was watching Undisputed. Shannon Sharp said, the final score is going to be 34-16 Vikings.
Right,
And
right.
it's like, I don't know, man. But on the other hand, you guys are starting to play a little better.
And I
Ever
kind
since that
of
Steelers game.
I kind of called a little bit. Like I said, when we played the Steelers and lost, I felt. I mean, you don't ever want to feel good about a loss, but I felt good about that loss because we had been playing bad football up to that. I don't know if something clicked on the defensive side or getting Sean Lee back, kind of like I talked in that episode of with the Steelers. Kind of getting that, the Ray Lewis factor, the, Sean Lee, the leadership. It's not necessarily that one guy changes the whole system, but one guy comes in and leads.
No.
It's you know what I mean? He comes in and he's confident. He's
Well, that's
making the
kinda-
audibles and doing what he has
That's
to
what I
do.
think is part of the reason, like the Ravens, nobody's stepping up. Everybody's, they're kind of just quitting.
But the Cowboys still have their flaws. We got the win. Lucky for us. But, I mean, like I said, we're still flawed. Zeke had his first touchdown. in a little while.
About 6 weeks.
Yeah, something like it was like 5-6 weeks, something like that. I was like, man, it's good to see Zeke get back in the end zone, but it's like I don't know what happened. The O line is part of it. I get that,
Well,
but
you guys moved Zach Martin right tackle.
Yeah, he was at right tackle, which was weird. I saw it at the beginning of the game. I'm like, why the hell is he playing right tackle?
But like my thing is, you've seen, they say that Zeke is this, he's a top 5 pick. He went number 4 on the draft. He's supposed to be this amazing running back, and he's not Barry Sanders. Like Barry Sanders played behind some trash lines and still had 1,000-yard seasons. I just don't see Zeke doing that. I feel like Zeke
That's how Peterson was.
Zeke has to be in the right situation to really succeed and put up 1,300, 1,400 yards. If not, then he kind of does this, and then he just kind of falls, no touchdowns in 5-6 weeks. But something clicked in this game, though. Zeke got it going. The defense played well enough. But it's still, like I said, we have flaws, just like the Vikings. So
I think the biggest thing was Dak. Dak took the 8 out of the box with him passing. We guys went with Dalton. It was kind of, I think Dalton's finally starting to get the offense under.
But something in that Steelers game, though, I think team-wise, as a team, something clicked with us in that game, and then it's kind of rolled over ever since. I guess if that's enough. That game, we'll move on to the next one. The Sunday night game was the 8-1 Chiefs at the 6-3 Raiders, and this was a real good game as well. This was a back-and-forth game as well. The Chiefs ended up pulling it out 35-31 on a last-minute Mahomes drive, classic. We're going to get used to this, I guess.
Carr just went down and scored a touchdown to take the lead.
Yeah.
And left the Chiefs with like a minute and, 48 or something?
And a lot of people were saying in their head,
that's too much time.
Yeah.
You gave him too much time.
Well, I think it's that, too, that was Mahomes' first game-winning touchdown to take the lead.
Oh, really? Like a game-changing lead?
And the Raiders did get the ball back, but there was
wasn't enough time.
20-some seconds left, and Carr threw it up and just bombed it out.
Yeah, it's just like, man, the Chiefs just have...
But I'm telling you, the Raiders...
The Chiefs just are clicking to the last couple of years. The Chiefs have just been awesome.
But I think the Raiders know how to beat them.
I agree with that.
They're the only team that did beat them, and they almost beat them again.
The Chiefs are 9-1, and the one loss was to the Raiders.
And
that says something.
And what I saw right now, if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs would play the Raiders.
Right.
In the first
the way it's set.
Now, the way that could happen, I could see that being an upset. I could see the Raiders.
Yeah, because the Raiders, it's like a thorn in the side type of thing. The Raiders just had probably because they're within division, and the Raiders have enough talent. They know how to play Mahomes.
Well, in the past few weeks, they've been playing pretty well. Carr's been lighting it up. I mean, they've got a lot of receiving options now. Nelson Aguilar came out of nowhere, and he's been tearing it up.
Yeah, he was kind of trashy.
Yeah, I know. And now Darren Waller.
Sometimes you just have to be put in the right team, the right situation, though.
Josh Jacobs.
Well, it's like what you said earlier. Gruden's it's everybody that fits the scheme.
Right.
It's not really one
Gruden
guy.
knew who he wanted, so he's going after. He's handpicking the players from here on. I guess that's it for that one. The Chiefs are 9-1. The Raiders do fall to 6-4, but it is what it is. We're still a few weeks out for the playoffs, so there's still a chance to keep hot. The next game is the Monday night game, 6-3 Rams at the 7-3 Bucks. The Rams won this game 27-24, and this is where you took the Rams and me and Jordan took the Bucks on this. We were thinking Brady,
Brady looked like garbage.
Yeah, and Brady didn't look very good.
I think the Rams had 200 receivers, Cup and Woods.
Yeah, Brady, man, and he was forcing I noticed. I don't know if you watched the game. He was forcing the ball to Brown a lot.
Right.
His roommate or whatever.
Which, kind of what, you said there, it's kind of weird because I've started noticing this trend. So, Brady, the offense is struggling. He's forcing the ball to Brown. Baltimore, Lamar's forcing the ball to Marquise. Then you had Cleveland forcing the ball to Odell. And the offenses aren't working for some reason.
I don't know. But
It's
Brady,
very odd.
Brady threw 2 interceptions. I think
Mm-hmm.
they were bad interceptions too.
They weren't tip
I mean, they were
balls.
terrible.
Right.
There was a couple of them that he couldn't even get to Evans. I mean,
Wild, man.
I've been saying this for a few years,
Arm strength started to
and I know you're saying, well, they're 7-4, they won 7 games, but there's so much talent on that team.
Right, you're starting to see a little bit of downhill.
I mean, a week ago, Ronald Jones ran a 98-yard touchdown, and I mean, there's other ways they can win. They've got a lot of players. Their defense has been playing good, but he's just, I don't know, man.
Now here's the question. Now we're talking about it. Do you think that Winston on this team would have a better record than Brady right now?
I don't think
No.
so.
I don't think so.
I don't think
because
so.
he'd be throwing a ton of interceptions.
Right. 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, it's just and we talk about the end of the game about how Brady didn't go shake.
Goff's hand.
hand.
That was weird.
Did the same thing to Foles. Yeah,
I don't get it.
he's kind of a sore loser, man, which is weird. He's supposed to be the GOAT, man.
Mm-hmm.
What does it matter if you got 6 rings, right?
Yeah,
So-
this is just a regular season game. Like you said, what does it
Yeah.
matter? You
I
won
don't
6
know.
Super Bowls.
I mean, you're probably going to be more in the lock to make the playoffs.
And I think Arians kind of threw him under the bus again in his press conference ever since
Yeah.
Which is kind of
about
odd.
his interceptions. He's not afraid. A lot of coaches wouldn't do that to him.
Right.
He doesn't treat him like some privileged quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I do believe, though, that the Rams and the Buccaneers are both playoff teams this year.
They are.
I can see both those teams making it. So I guess that wraps up the
Week 11.
Week 11. I don't remember if we said it, but the Bears, 49ers, Bills, and Giants were on the bye week. I think we said
Yeah,
it
we did.
first,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to clarify that.
Kind of go over the record-wise. I was in third. I went 5-9 on the picks, and I'm 89-73.
And I guess I'll go second. Technically, we tied this week, but I'm in second place in the overall rankings. I went 7-7. I'm 99-62 overall.
I went 7-7 for the second week in a row. I'm 102 wins and 59 losses.
So that kind of wraps
Wraps
week
that up.
11 up.
It's been some rough picks these last
Yes,
few
there
weeks.
has. Now, week 12, we're going into the pickings for week 12. There is no teams on bye week.
Which is kind of weird.
They're going to wait until the following week to give the Bucks and the Panthers their bye week.
And then everybody will
and then
be
everyone has been through their bye.
So we got the
But all 16 games this week, so that'll be fun.
We got 3 Thanksgiving games.
Thanksgiving
on.
specials.
Yeah.
So we got the early Thursday games going to be the 3-7 Texans and the 4-6 Lions.
You know what? I'm going Texans.
I agree. I'm going Texans. Lions just
Yeah,
dropped the
I was
goose.
going home.
Oh man, I thought you guys.
I thought about
somebody was going to take.
But man,
the
they
Lions.
got shut out. It was like
Yeah, they got
I don't
shut
know.
out. The Texans won against the Pats.
Now we got the Thursday late game. We got the 3-7 football team and the 3-7 Cowboys.
You know what? I gotta go with my Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys.
We beat the Vikings. We won that game.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys also.
Oh, we're all going Cowboys, I guess.
Then we got the night game, which could get played, might not due to
Yeah.
COVID happening with the Ravens. 6-4 Ravens and the 10-0 Steelers.
Man, did the Ravens give them their first loss?
Man, you know what? I'm going Ravens.
You know what?
I'm going Ravens. I think this is the week that the Steelers fall. The Ravens played the Titans down to the overtime.
The Ravens beat the Steelers the last time stat-wise.
I'm gonna go Ravens too.
Oh
Now-
wow, we're all pretty much the same.
I know you guys want
here.
Ravens, but there's going to be some Ravens out probably for COVID.
Couple running backs.
I'm going to go with Ravens.
So far, we're 3 for
It's going to
3
be
with
Gus the
each other.
Bus. Gus the Bus. So then we got the early for Sundays. We got the 6-4 Raiders and the 3-7 Falcons.
The Raiders.
The Raiders. The Falcons could get hot and pull off something, but I'm going Raiders.
So far, we picked every game this
Yes,
year.
we have. This
Next
is
one,
odd.
we got the 3-7 Chargers and the 7-3 Bills.
The Bills
Bills.
for me.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills. I thought about switching it, but nah.
He's still waiting. We're waiting on Jordan.
I'm going to go Chargers.
Okay.
Or
We get
change it up.
the first upset.
Next one, we got the 3-7 Giants and the 2-7 and 1 Bengals.
I'm going Giants because Burrow's out.
I'm going Giants. I hate to do it, but I have to be logical. I'm going Giants.
I'm going Giants. I think if Burrow was there, it'd probably be different story. Next one, we got the battle of the 7-3s, the Titans and the Colts.
Divisional game.
It's a divisional game. I took the Colts against the Packers last week. I think I'm going to go Titans this week, though. The Titans coming off of an overtime win.
This is a tough one.
They were, I mean,
God, this one can
I just feel, I guess the Colts had an overtime win,
Yeah,
too.
they did. They both did.
So both teams are coming off overtime wins, but I just feel the Titans have a little bit more talent than the Colts.
Yeah,
this year.
I'm gonna go Titans. Derrick Henry's the big difference maker, I think.
Although the Colts are my second team, I'm just trying to use my head with these picks.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to go Titans also. Next one, we got the 7-3 Browns and the 1-9 Jags.
Oh, should I do it? No. I'm going Browns.
Next one, we got the 4-7 Panthers and the 4-6 Vikings.
You watch. I'm gonna go Vikings because
Your Vikings.
this is what's gonna happen.
You'll win this one.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Where are you going, Jordan?
I'm going to go Panthers.
You're going Panthers?
PJ Walker.
So, now you were stuck on the one up there. I'm stuck on this one. Because both of these teams are right about the same talent level. I'm going to go Vikings. I think the Vikings have a little bit more to prove.
Next one, we got the 6-4 Cardinals and the 4-6 Patriots. I think it's going to be Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals as well. This is going to be the first season where the Patriots just...
Then to round out the early Sunday games, we got the 6-4 Dolphins and the 0-10.
Could it happen? Could it happen?
I'm going Dolphins.
I'm going Dolphins as well.
I'm going Jets.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, I think Flacco pulls it out this week.
Wow.
We'll see.
We will see.
It's possible.
All right, going into the Sunday late games, the 8-2 Saints at the 4-6 Broncos.
Gotta go Saints.
Yep.
I'm going Saints as well. The
Even
talent
if
is
Taysom
just,
Hill's playing, I mean, it's
the talent is just
I
leaps
think
and bounds better than the
though,
Broncos.
if you're the Saints, they're going to have to put Winston in. Because
At
there's a
some
point,
point.
if Breeze ends up retiring, Winston's on a 1-year deal. That kind of lets you survey who you want as your quarterback.
Right.
I think they're kind of kicking
You've
themselves
only-
they didn't keep Teddy.
And only got 6 weeks to go, so you're going to have to get some time with Winston in there. On to, wait, did you guys make yours?
Yep.
We all took Saints. The next one, the 4-6 49ers at the 7-3 Rams. The Rams are coming off a win. The 49ers are coming off a bye.
Go on the
I'm
Rams.
going Rams.
I'm going
A lot
Rams as
healthier.
well.
Next one, we got the 9-1 Chiefs and the 7-4 Bucks.
It's gonna be 2 losses in a row for the Bucks.
I agree. I'm taking the 9-1 Chiefs.
I think Brady puts it together.
All right.
I think this one really could go either way.
I think it could too. I mean, Brady could do it, but the Chiefs are just so damn
I'm
good
going
this
to go
year.
with the Chiefs. Next, and then we got that's the Sunday late games.
The Sunday night game is next.
Is the 5-5 Bears and the 7-3 Packers. Battle of the North.
I'm gonna go Packers.
Yeah, you gotta go Packers. They're too damn good.
Then kind of Monday night games, kind of one-sided, I think. 7-3 Seahawks and the 3-6-1 Eagles.
Well, I think we're all going Seahawks. I don't know if any of you guys are taking.
I'm gonna take Seahawks. Their defense is kind of starting to pick it up, and Wentz is a
Wentz-
turnover machine.
Yeah. But this right here is the week that the Cowboys could beat the football team, which we're both 3-7.
But then the Giants could beat the Bengals.
Yeah, the Giants could beat the Bengals, but then the Cowboys beat the football team. The Seahawks beat the Eagles. Then it's just going to be Cowboys and Giants will both be 4-7.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Giants have started to play a little better.
right. They have. But I'm just saying, the Cowboys get this win. The Seahawks clean up the Eagles. I'm telling you, I feel that we could win that division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then kind of to round out the episode, we got, supposedly they're putting out the class of 2021 semifinalists for the Hall of Fame.
And that was on this.
So we're going to kind of go through the list, kind of give our take on if we say maybe yay, nay, maybe up for what? Probably next time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We can just run through the names, and then we can kind of point out some people
Right.
that maybe stick out.
So
Let me
first
get
one
mine
on the
brought
list
up here.
is Eric Allen.
Yeah. So
I
do we
don't-
say yay or nay?
Yeah, I'll say nay. I don't really know who that is.
I think
I know he's
he'll.
a defensive
Yeah, he's
back.
defensive. He'll get in eventually, but not this year.
Next one we got the man, the mullet, Jared Allen.
Give me some Jared Allen. Yes.
I think Jared gets in.
Do you really?
He's had a long
Dude, he
enough.
tore it up.
He was.
Tied the sack record in a
But-
season.
This is semi-finalist to take it down to finals,
Yeah.
though, so there is a lot. So I think Jared Allen moves on
I'd say.
from the semis.
Yeah. Next one's Willie Anderson.
Maybe not. I
I'd say
think
probably nay.
he's one that doesn't.
Next one we got Rondé Barber.
That's a big name. I know of that
Long,
name.
lengthy career.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Brother was Tiki Barber.
Is he a first ballot?
I'd say probably no.
No.
No, not first ballot. He might move on to the finals though.
Next one we got Cornelius Bennett.
From the Bills. I think he'll get in.
I don't think it'll be this
But
time.
once
though.
again,
Yeah, it won't
He'll
be.
move on to the finals, but not.
But sometimes they do weird things. I mean,
Right.
some of these guys. Sometimes I'm surprised that some players get in and some don't. So
Mhm.
These next couple names I don't really know.
Tony Baselli
I don't even know who that is.
played
So,
for the Jags.
so
When they
that
first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that tells you how much I know
Yeah.
about him.
There's a few players.
So,
like,
I'll
I
say
don't-
nay on
don't
that
know
one.
a ton about, like Leroy Butler.
I don't know him either. I know Alan Faneca.
Yeah,
So Leroy Butler, we're gonna say nay.
probably not. No.
Then Alan Faneca, we'll say move on to the finals, but maybe not. And
Next one you got Rodney Harrison. I'm gonna say no
No.
yeah, I'll say no as
because
well.
some of the other ones are on the list.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Next one we got Torrey Holt.
I'll say yes on him. Holt was
He's
a
been
bad.
on, he's been on the list for a while. There's always a log jam for receivers for some
Right.
reason. A lot of guys that went in, like Chris Carter, it took him like, I don't know, 5 or 6 tries when
Right.
he probably should have been a first ballot, but there was so
Isn't
many
there,
receivers.
Isn't there somebody from the Cowboys that's not on there from that with Emmett Smith back in that day?
Pearson.
Yeah,
I
Pearson.
think
Drew
it's Pearson.
Pearson.
Drew Pearson.
So-
Calvin Johnson is next. I say yay, but like you're saying, the
I'm gonna
log
say-
jam of wide
I'm
receivers.
gonna say no because I would see Torrey Holt going over him,
Yeah.
just because he's been,
Just 'cause he's been
trying
waiting for
longer.
longer.
and Calvin did not. To me, Calvin didn't play long enough.
I see what you're
He was
saying.
amazing, but yeah, I mean, there's been a few players that didn't really have long careers that have made it. I mean, but
I think that he'll get in eventually. I just don't think
Right.
right now.
I see what you're saying.
Next one's John Lynch.
Badass safety, dude.
I could see him moving on.
I say he moves on as well. And we're just talking moving on to the finals.
I
We'll do
would say-
another.
I would say Lynch will get in before Rodney Harrison.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I would say so.
Then next one, I think we're all kind of in agreement. Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a lock.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning is a lock.
Next one, Clay Matthews. I'm gonna say no.
I'm saying no on that as well.
No.
Next one, we got Sam Mills.
I don't really know that name either. So
No,
I'm gonna
I don't
say
think
no.
so.
Richard Seymour.
Good old Richard Seymour.
He was good, but I just don't think he didn't have that.
It factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. He used to make the Pro Bowl about every year, but that's not saying much. I mean,
Because
but
he was with the Raiders. And
yeah, he played for the Seahawks for a little while and Patriots.
the Patriots. Yep.
I'll say no.
I'm gonna say no, not
Not now.
not now. They got Steve Tasker.
I don't know who that is either.
I don't think so.
Fred Taylor, no.
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 Zach Thomas. I think Zach Thomas is one that he was underrated because he was always behind Urlacher and Lewis shadow wise. Really, honestly, if you look at number wise, he's right with him.
It's weird.
But he doesn't stick out to me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah, he
Like those other
doesn't
guys
stick
did.
out. Mm-hmm.
He was a guy
Like
that
you're
had a
saying,
long.
he was kind of in the shadow of everybody.
Because
but-
really, if you think of another one, I don't think he's on here. Yeah, he's not on here, but London Fletcher.
Oh yeah,
He's neck and neck with Lewis and Urlacher, but
but you don't think of him like
Right, you don't think of him like that.
so we think Zach Thomas.
I'm gonna say no. He doesn't
See,
stick out.
numbers wise, he sticks out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be a while if he does.
Like, yeah. Hines Ward, no.
No.
I don't.
I don't think.
I don't know
He's
why everybody thought he was like so great. I mean, he's good, but do I think of him as like a Hall of Famer?
No.
See,
I don't
so.
either.
Being a Ravens fan, played him all the time. Really, do I think of Hines Ward, back in the, early 2000s?
In his prime.
Yeah, but I mean, really, if you think about it, more of Santonio Holmes, Mike Wallace, Brown.
See, Hines Ward was the type of receiver, though, he'd go up and block a fucking linebacker.
He was
Yeah.
it was more of a
He,
possession.
he was physical. Yeah, he was a possession receiver, but he didn't mind getting physical. He didn't mind taking a hit over the middle. That's the only thing that would get him in, but I say no for now, just because the logjam of receivers. We're seeing it next. Reggie Wayne is next.
No.
Yeah. I honestly
Eventually.
think Reggie Wayne would probably get in before Hines Ward.
I agree.
Right, I agree with that.
But then I think Calvin Johnson will get in before
Before Reggie Wayne.
them.
Yeah. Patrick Wallace
Once again, with the
Could've-
Calvin Johnson thing, he
could've-
didn't play a lot.
could have been probably neck and neck with Thomas
Yeah.
Lewis.
Urlacher.
I would say Zach Thomas gets him before Willis.
Yeah.
So we'll say no on him then.
Charles Woodson's a lock.
Yeah. We all agree he's a lock.
First ballot.
Next one, who we got? Darren Woodson.
What are your thoughts on Darren Woodson? Being a Cowboys fan.
I don't know if he gets in. Charles Woodson's a lock, but I don't know about Darren.
Then to round it up, we got Bryant Young.
Who did he play for? I'm Googling it real quick.
Who, Bryant Young?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few guys on here
He's a defensive tackle.
that don't stick
So,
out.
yeah, I'm going to say no.
All right, so this list, there's 25. So you guys want to go? You guys want to pick what we think would be maybe 12? 12 to move on. Be about half.
Or do you want? Oh, okay. Well, or just pick 5, or you want to pick like a top 5?
I've got a top 6 written down. My top 6 are Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson, Torrey Holt, Jared Allen, John Lynch, and Charles Woodson.
So you want to go with 6? Manning, Charles Woodson,
Yep.
Torrey Holt, Jared Allen,
You got the same ones as me.
John Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
I think he pretty much took mine.
Was the one more? By the list, I could say Rondé Barber.
Right. So Rondé Barber would be an addition for me as well for a 7th. But I mean, I don't really.
I think your locks, though. I mean, you got Peyton Manning, and Charles Woodson. Those are.
Those are your two.
I don't think there's going to be any questions about it.
Correct,
Those
I
guys are
agree.
going to be in there. The other guys could be, could not be. I mean,
Right.
and it depends on what they do with receiver.
One will probably get in.
I really don't see Hines Ward getting in.
Reggie
Yeah.
Wayne.
Don't see Reggie Wayne getting in.
Really,
this year.
to me, and I know this.
Wouldn't that be weird though if Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne both went in the same year?
Yeah. Really, to me, the only two that really logically would make the most sense is Holt and Johnson.
Right.
Well, then you're going to have the committee and everybody's going to be, well, why should Johnson get in when Ward and Wayne, they both won Super Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
I
And they
think
have longer careers.
I think that thing's stupid, man. Well, how many Super Bowls does he have? Who cares? There's guys that sat on the bench that won Super Bowls. I mean, I don't. That logic is weird to me because Barry Sanders was on crappy teams his whole career. He never won a Super Bowl.
And he's one of the best running
I
backs
think
known.
another thing, too, by looking at the list, who's guys that okay, they made an impact.
Right. And that's kind of what I did. Manning, Johnson, Holt, Allen, Lynch, Woodson. Those names just, boom, it pops out to you. Patrick Willis pops out to me But he
he-
didn't play long
And
enough.
this is another thing though, because
He retired at 30.
Yeah.
Willis pops out more than Zach Thomas, which is weird.
Right.
because
That
you
to
think-
me he does.
But if you
Yeah,
look
he
at
does.
stat wise, Thomas had a way better career. If you just go through what I think Willis played 10 years, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's a question, kind of just off subject, but going with this: do you think Luke Kuechly is another one that retired early? Do you think that he will end up being on that list down the road?
I don't think so. He was damn good, but he's not Urlacher or Ray Lewis good. So like when I think of Hall of Fame, I think of
I think-
absolute elite,
I think
absolute
They changed the
leadership.
game.
I think
game changer.
Kuechly, he had a few good years, you know what I
Right.
mean, and where
That's
he was
what
like
I'm-
super dominant, but I don't know.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is he doesn't pop out like
My problem is when I think of a
Ray
Hall
Lewis
of Famer, I think of somebody that like played for years
and was just
at a high
awesome.
level. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Lewis, Urlacher, names like that. Manning.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I guess that's it. Unless there's any other news. COVID news.
COVID news.
I know Raven Wise, Ingram, Dobbins, and Brandon Williams are all out, and then there's confirmed to be a couple more cases that haven't been,
Mm-hmm.
disclosed yet.
Vikings wise, Adam Thielen's on the COVID list as well.
And then the whole Jaguars defensive coaches are all off because of COVID concerns.
Mm-hmm.
It's an every week thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. See if there's any other news that's popped up.
The Cowboys had
Oh, Eckler's coming back off the IR.
Eckler's going on fire. The Cowboys canceled practice day due to a non-COVID medical emergency situation involving a staff member.
Yeah, it was their strength and conditioning coach had some kind of a health issue. They came out. They really didn't say exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm. They canceled practice and they also canceled all media sessions as well. So
Yeah, there's not much else. I don't think.
Should have went off this for that list. Eric Allen says he played for the Philadelphia Eagles,
Yeah.
Saints, Raiders. This gives kind of their statistics: 54 interceptions, 8 touchdowns, 6-time Pro Bowler. Jared Allen's 136 career sacks, 4 safeties, most of all time. I was tied for most of
oh
all.
dang.
22 sacks in 2011, tied for second all time. 1 of 7 players to lead the NFL in sacks twice. Willie Anderson with the Ravens, Bengals, started 184 out of 195 games. Rondé Barber, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only player in NFL history with 40 interceptions and 25 plus sacks. Part of the NFL decade team. Linebacker Cornelius Bennett, Bills, Falcons, and Colts, 71.5 sacks, 7 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 27 fumble recoveries, 5-time Pro Bowler. Tony Boselli, who played with the Jaguars.
Yep.
He was part of their all-decade team. Leroy Butler was safety, Packers, 38 career interceptions, which that's, decent. Then you got your guard, was it Faneca?
Yeah.
Steelers and Jets, and with Cardinals for a year. He was on the all-decade team, 6-time Pro Bowler. Won the Super Bowl with Steelers, Rodney Harrison, Chargers and Patriots. 4 Super Bowls. Torrey Holt, Rams and Jags. He actually led the NFL in receiving yards in 2000 and 2003. Calvin, 1,964 receiving yards, most of all time, in 2012. Yeah, really. Here's a stat. Calvin Johnson was only a 3-time Pro Bowler.
As many amazing seasons as he had.
Sometimes that Pro Bowl is kind of a shit show, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean as much anymore, I don't think.
I
either.
don't think. Did you see that whole thing about the Jaguars are voting for Yannick, so the Vikings have to give him a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's about About it. Kind of all the other ones we know.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
That's about it, fellas.
That's about it.
Till next week.
Tune in.
Yeah, 16 games next week, so this is going to be a fun
16.
one. 3 Thursday games, so
Somebody better win.
peace out.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. Come again.